Hi guys, and welcome back to the Quality of Life podcast. I'm Erin Olson, and my whole goal is to get you from your business idea to big business. Be sure to subscribe right now and click that notifications bell so that you get all of the notifications of all of our upcoming podcast episodes and videos. Don't be left out of the loop because there's some really good stuff coming up. So last week, we talked all about drama in the workplace and how to conduct yourself as a business person, not a high schooler. But if you haven't listened to that podcast, go check it out. And this week, we are going to talk about why now is a perfect time to start your business. If you have been struggling with whether or not you should actually start, maybe this episode is for you. If you've got a hobby that could possibly become the next business idea for you, then I think this episode's probably for you too. If you have a business that you've started and you're starting to wonder if you've made a mistake, I'm pretty sure this episode is going to be for you too. I'm not sure when you're listening or watching this podcast, but it is the end of August in 2024. There is a lot of drama going on in the world right now. There's potential wars, elections, there's Bidenomics and inflation going on. We're not even going to get into politics right now, but there are so many things right now that a lot of people could believe are signs to not do business. And I'm here to tell you that this right now might be your window of opportunity. So back when I started being a farrier, I was broke. I was more than broke. I had some horses and I had a horse that actually ended up foundering. It was a problem where she probably could lose her life. It was right before Christmas of, I think, 2003-ish. And I walked out to go feed her and I could barely afford to feed my animals as it was. But horses are kind of an expensive hobby. I don't know if you guys know that or not. But I walked out to the pasture and this horse was laying there and she was completely lame. She could not get up. So I called the vet and the vet came out and she said, well, I think we're going to have to put her down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom gave me this horse and she's going to kill me. And so I need to do everything impossible. Plus, I love this horse. I wanted to save her, right? And so the vet did everything she could do, left me with a huge bill that I could barely afford. And right before Christmas, it was like 2 weeks before Christmas, and she said, you might be able to make this horse sound enough to breed, but you're never going to ride her again. And this horse's name was Magic, and she was a Pasofino, and she was a great horse, taught me so many things. One thing that I can thank her the most for is the fact that I had to find alternatives, ways to take care of her feet because her feet were a problem. Basically, she had a diabetic attack. Now, horses don't get diabetes, but she had an attack that made it so that she couldn't walk. It was so bad that her bone in her foot had actually kind of poked through the bottom of her foot, and that's a death sentence to most horses. So I went to the internet, which was still very new and hard to get to. I ended up using the library because I was broke. I found a guy who was saving horses' lives that had this exact problem. I ended up finding a guy who just happened to be within 45 minutes of where I kept my horses. Scott, if you're listening, this is all about you. He came out and he saved my horse's life. Not only did he save her life, but I was able to ride her again in 3 months. The vet said that was not possible. And when I told her about it, she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. There needs to be more people like this. This way of trimming her feet and addressing her nutrition was very, very, very expensive. And so I talked with my husband because there's nobody else doing it. And the farrier that came out, he didn't have enough time to do all of my horses. And so he suggested I go and learn how to do it. So my husband and I worked some numbers and my husband funded me to go and learn how to trim horses and deal with nutrition in a way that saves them. And that is how my business started. That's actually also how Hey Chicks started down the road. But it started because I was broke and I was at the bottom of what I could do. So I've had to figure out a way to make things work. I got to help so many horses in that business, and I grew another business out of it. It turns out that I had adjusted how to feed horses for a long time, met my business partner, and came up with a way to feed horses in round bale sizes, and God blessed us with this idea. And the bottom line is that happened in 2008. Do you guys realize what also happened in 2008? Yes, the bubble that burst on all the housing markets and how everybody went broke. That was also the year that there was a significant drought. And hay was like $300 a round bale. Now, I know that things are getting way more expensive again, but basically we had horses, we couldn't afford to feed them all. And so we figured out this way to feed horses that they didn't waste anything. It was an awesome byproduct. And so we did all of our research. We actually only did it to help ourselves. We wanted our animals, we wanted to keep our animals. We didn't want to give them up just because we couldn't afford it. It was a blessing and it should have never worked. It was in the middle of a huge recession and that company grew to a multi-million-dollar company. So, the thing is, right now we are in a dramatic time in our lives again. Like I said, there's the recession going on, there's inflation, debt is at an all-time high, and there's a potential war coming, and we're doing a presidential election coming up here in a couple of months. So there's so many reasons why you shouldn't start anything. But here's the deal. Those are the exact reasons that I think you should. In fact, I am actually starting something new myself, and I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but I've been working on it and it's about time for me to launch. But here's the deal. You have an idea. Maybe you have a hobby. Maybe you have something that you've been working on and you've been waiting for the right time, and all of these things seem to be like signs for you to stop. I don't believe they're signs for you to stop. I believe that is the enemy, not to get all biblical, but I'm gonna here, the enemy trying to make you stop because the world needs your idea. That's the bottom line. The world needs your idea. And even if somebody's done it before, they've never done it like you can do it. And honestly, we're in a world of people who are making up, businesses as influencers. People have inflated the idea that it's so hard to actually do something that is changing people's lives. And owning a business, it's not easy. It's actually one of the hardest things that I think I've ever done. I need to tell you guys, now, I think is the time. Most of the biggest businesses that we look at right now were born in a recession or were born in a terrible time to, quote, start a business. And I'm just going to go off the cuff. I have a little outline, but I have no script because I feel like I need to talk to you like a friend, because I think that a lot of people are scared. They're scared to do their own thing because it's risky. It's really freaking risky. But so is working for somebody else who's making all the decisions that you have no say in. That business could reorganize and you could not have a job tomorrow, or you could be phased out. I am a firm believer that the devil has a way to convince us that it's not our time. And I'm here to combat that. In fact, I'm so sure that I am starting my new thing and it's going to be coming out in the next few months. And believe me, I'll tell you about it because I'm going to be so excited. But it is still in the works, and I'm going to go a little biblical. I am not a pastor. I am just a person who has fought through a whole lot of things. And my belief in God has grown, and having God in my business has really changed things for me. And I know it can change things for you too. The enemy is going to put doubt in you, doubt in yourself and your abilities. But God put an idea in you. He put it in your heart. You can read all about it in the Bible, which means He is going to equip you. You may not have all the tools right now, but a lot of times the thing that you need to start is the thing that helped you get from where you were to where you are now. And other people need to hear your story. Even if you don't like being on camera, you need to tell your story, because your story is what's going to change lives. Your product is what's going to change lives. Your service, if you are in the service industry, can change lives. And the devil wants to squash that light. There is a verse that I know has helped me, and it is Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not get weary. They will walk and not faint. When you think about eagles, yeah, you think about America, right? You think about our country's emblem, but an eagle soars at super high heights, higher than most any other bird or animal. And that eagle has the ability to see something so small and take advantage of it. That eagle is not troubled by the chickens on the ground, by the vultures. It's not bothered because it is above it all. And I believe you guys are too. So I'm going to do something really different today, and I hope you guys don't mind, but I would like to pray because I think that we need to pray more in this country and we all need to vote. So please go vote. I don't care who you vote for, just exercise your right as a citizen and vote in this upcoming election. God, I pray for anybody today who might be listening, who has an idea in their heart that you have put there. I pray that you help them to know that it's your will that they start this idea and that they take off running, Lord. I pray that you help them to know it's you. I pray that you help equip them with the tools they need to run this business and to turn it into a business to help serve people. God, I just pray with all my heart that you help them to have energy that's renewed over and over again when the times and the goings get tough, Lord. I pray that you bless them in their endeavors, and I pray that you thwart the enemy's attempts to stop them. I thank you in all I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so guys, I just really felt like I needed to do that today, and I just hope that this episode helped you. I hope that you guys are willing to try. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? You can always make more money, but this is what God put in you. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that it helped you. I hope you guys get started. And I hope that if you guys have any questions about business that I can help you with, message me or comment on this video or this podcast episode, because I want to help you guys. And I'm running out of material. Actually, I'm not. But guys, I want to help you where you need it most. Thank you so much for listening today. And I would hope that you would subscribe to this episode, subscribe to these podcasts, click your notification bell so that you get notified whenever there's a new episode or resource. And please go to my website, theerinolson.com, and sign up for the newsletter, because this newsletter is going to also give you extra ideas and resources and let you know of everything we've got coming out. So guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope this helps get you from your business idea to big business. See ya.